Welcome to We Learn Network. This is session 9 part 1 on data storage management. In this session we are going to cover topics: the core concept, SNIA storage virtualization, what is being virtualized, files and records, application access to data, and data as files. Now, as you know, we are studying here the basic concepts about the data storing, and the core concept of its are Storage Network Industry Association, that is in short we can call SNIA. Is taxonomy for storage virtualization is divided into three basic categories. The word is come here, virtualization, that is means the thing you are watching is that can be related with the can exist logically but not the possible the physically. Means I hope you have already listened the word of the virtual system and virtual machine on which they get some software and produce a new machine with the help of some software, and it look like basically you are working on a different machine which is work exactly same as you are working on different machine, different hardware, a different window, different storage area. So that's feel like you are working on different window and as well on different machine, but it's not actually physically exist. So where it can be, have you ever think how can it be possible? Because think a machine which is you are working on the separately, you are watching and it's working actually, but there is no physical according to the work. So that all are basically by sharing the data. So virtualization is divided into three basic categories. What is being virtualized, where the virtualized occur, and how it implemented. You know, we are discussing about the term of data. Data how we can what कैसे होता है वो what means क्या है virtualized. जैसे कि अभी आपको बताया which can be logically you can view but in the physically you can't see that, and the location side that can be made by the some logical combination. And where the virtualization occur, virtualization basically occur by the some logically area that is generated by the system and on the particularly area that occupied by the machine, and that is basically created by a logical area. So you can see here the where virtualization occur is the made by some logical area on which they show the some logical combination of the records, and how it is implemented, that is implemented by the some program which run on the system and by making some logical combination of the data, and through which we can make to view by combination of various data that can be applied to the diversity of storage categories. Let's show in the figure. You can see in the next slide the figure, like here the storage virtualization, like storage virtualization here, that is you can see the block. What the first question was the what you created. First storage virtualization was created, that block virtualization, disk virtualization, tape drive, tape library virtualization, file system virtualization, and file record virtualization. These are the main things required for the storage of virtualization. Actually, as you know, the thing when you are creating, they must access this drive. अगर ये सब चीजें नहीं होता, how can you make the access to this virtualization? अगर आपके पास blocks नहीं हैंगे, disk नहीं है, then and tape drive नहीं होंगे, file systems नहीं है, and the records नहीं है, they all the first need to be created for the virtualization. And where it is to be done? See here. It is a host based server virtualization या network based virtualization हो सकता है, and storage device storage subsystem virtualization हो सकता है. मीन्स आप डाटा को देखो, आप नॉर्मली अपने सिस्टम पे बात करते हैं, आप अपने सिस्टम पे हार्ड डिस्क पे जहाँ डाटा स्टोर होता है, या आपने कई बार अपने डाटा को अपने सिस्टम पे ना कर सर्वर पे रखा होता है, जैसे कि मेल्स के अंदर आपका डाटा है, दैट इज ऑन द सर्वर. एंड समटाइम इट इज ऑन द नेटवर्क बेस्ड वर्चुअलाइजेशन, जो आपका नेटवर्क आपका वर्चुअली क्रिएट हुआ है, तो जहाँ आपका लॉजिकल क्रिएशन की गई है वहाँ पे हो सकता है. एंड स्टोरेज डिवाइसेस भी हो सकते हैं डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ऑन विच यू कैन मेक स्टोरेज ऑफ द डाटा. एंड इट कैन बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड बाय द वे ऑफ in the band of virtualization and out of band virtualization. These are the way of the making the band and outbound band of the virtualization, through which we can make this implementation of where and about the what we need to create for the virtualization. I hope it's very clear to you. Blocks, disk and tape are necessary file system record for storage virtualization. Host, server, network and storage devices for system virtualization is required for your storing the data, and that can be implemented with the help of in-band virtualization and out-of-the-band virtualization. Let's see the next is here. What is being virtualized? हमारा जैसे कि पहले था, what we are making here, block, disk, tape, file system, the file record. So now see here, disk, that cylinder head and the sector virtualized into the logical block address. Disk में हमारा जो that is in the cylindrical form in which you are using hard disk, that is in the cylindrical platter in which you can store the data. And this is the circular cylinder head and the sector virtualized, and this are into the logical blocks पे हमारा data store होता है. So we need to first make the disk as seen in the previous diagram. We need here the disk as block and all this. So this is to where the head vector is to move according to your data and on the address where your data is stored. Basically that this cylinder is mean to say that your disk is in the circular platter form, like circle plates are here, and each circle plate have some tracks, and on track there is the data stored. So need to be read and write the data. There need to be something like kind of the disk through which the read and write block, logical block, as basically these all are created in the logical block address, not in the physical one. And the block about that logical block form disparate storage system that may be pooled into a common asset. Means here blocks, you create a various logical block in which you can store the data. Logical blocks means the everything that is contained within a block that can be disparate to the storage system or may be pooled by into the common asset. Tape system, tape drive, you can know, I hope you have already listened about the tape drive, like floppy and all this. Some are the basically tape drive on which data is stored on the tape. Tape drive, tape system may be virtualized, that can be into a single tape entity or subdivided into multiple virtual entity. In the multiple subdivided virtual entity, see the various subpartition is done on here to sort the data here. And next is about file system. What is about we discuss in the file system? This the entire file system may be virtualized by shared file system. In the file system, the entire file that means virtualized by creating some logical address into sub part, and that is shared by what is the file system. The entire file system will share all this virtualized address. And next is about the file or record virtualization. About we will discuss about file or record virtualization. File or record, what are missing here? You are very clear that record means you are getting about data and information you are talking, which are you using, and the file which contains the record. So that may be virtualized or on the different volumes. So I hope in these these points are very clear to you about disk, block, tape system, file system, file or record virtualization. And the next is what is being virtualized. As you know in the previous diagram, what is being virtualized, that is अब हमें क्या चीज जरूरत है हमें इसे virtualize करने के लिए. That is ultimate goal of what is storage. As you know in the machine, we are in the starting I told you the example of virtual machine. Our data is also storing at the different drive, but we are getting no any physical drive exists for this on which you are getting, like I mean to say, आपका एक सिस्टम पे आप देख रहे हो, आपके लिए CDE ड्राइव है और आपने वर्चुअल मशीन के थ्रू एक और मशीन क्रिएट की हुई है और उसमें भी आपको सेपरेट स्टोरेज एरिया है, दैट इज नॉट लिंकिंग विद दिस वन. आपको देखने में बिल्कुल लगेगा ही नहीं कि आपका यहाँ पे डाटा अलग है और वहाँ पे डाटा बिल्कुल अलग है, आपको सेम नहीं मिल रहा. बट वो फिजिकली कैसे हुआ है? अल्टीमेटली वो जो रिसोर्सेज हमारी एक मशीन से उसी से शेयर करके बनाए गए होते हैं लॉजिकली. So the ultimate goal of our storage virtualization for simplify storage administration, and that can achieve how by layered approach. They make here layering and concealing complexity of physical storage asset. But the last point was the layered approach means, and the where layers are made here at the with the layer they work according to the layers, and different layer they read and write, and the concept is made according to storing and to compose all these different subpart. And concealing complexity of physical storage asset means some complexity that can be problem can be arise for the physically they are linked with the by the logically terms here. And treating multiple file disk or array, आपको जितने ज़्यादा मल्टीपल फिजिकल डिस्क एंड एरे क्रिएट करने होते हैं ना, हम उसको मल्टीपल फिजिकल डिस्क क्रिएट कर सकते हैं एज ए सिंगल लॉजिकल एंटिटी. बट मेन फोकस इज व्हाट हियर, क्रिएटिंग मल्टीपल फिजिकल डिस्क or array as a logical entity. The main point is here that we are using as a logical entity. And next point is to say storage virtualization require automation for routine solving and tasks performed by the storage administrator. That says that आप जो storage virtualization में हमारी main thing जो require होती है, that is automation, how to handling this task from the storing physical area and getting on the virtual area. So these are very necessary to require some in this way routine, you can easily make the confirmation to storing and retrieving the data. That should be policy based to reduce manual interventions, and they should become application aware. That what to mean to say that data can be on some policy base and can be reduced manual intervention. आपको जो manually वे है उनको उनकी जगह वो एक policy based के according भी reduce कर सकता है, और that should become application aware. I hope it's very clear to you about this term. Next is what is being virtualized more here. Where virtualization occur, that was my next point. What is to be virtualized? Now the point is here where virtualization occur. Here on the most was the storage area. आपको इसे बताया था हमारे डायग्राम में मेन पॉइंट था, लाइक इन द प्रीवियस डायग्राम वी सीन हियर द फाइल, रिकॉर्ड, टेप ड्राइव, डिस्क. बट वी आर डिस्कसिंग नाउ अबाउट वेयर इट इज डन, दैट इज होस्ट बेस्ड नेटवर्क एंड स्टोरेज डिवाइसेस ऑफ द सबसिस्टम. Let's see again what it say. In the where virtualization occur, that is on host, या तो आप किसी सर्वर काइंड पे स्टोर है, storage arrays की कोडिंग है, and in the network via the intelligent fabric switches or SAN, that is storage area network can attach the appliances. Means here that you make here some network kind, you are making the connection between 3 to 4 computer, and they are the major host through which you are accessing data. The data is not basically reside on the every system individually, so data you can get by those which is the main host through which you can access. The connection is made to over the host, and as like client and server request kind way, we can fetch the data from the host and can be in the storage arrays as well. And if we say about in the network, that why intelligent fabric switches, about the network there are the various intelligent fabric switches हो सकते हैं, and the SAN that is attach our appliances. For this storage area network we can make finally attach this our network area to get in the data by this of this appliances. And finally how to virtualization occur. Virtualization हमें कैसे दिखती है, that is in band or out band. I hope it's very remember. We discussed 2 points that can be occur and that can implement by the two way is in-band and out-band, that is separation control of the data path. In-band means your data is going toward inside of the system, that is, and the out-band you are getting out. So these are the points clear to inbound and outbound. Storage virtualization technology, that is layered, perfect, and for more that is sophisticated functionality, and then drive together data together, that is greater degree of simplicity. Greater degree of simplicity that is shown here. That's in the blue diagram. The virtualization enable the application aware with the storage virtualization and the policy-based management, automation of storage process, logical abstraction layer, and physical storage system. What is here to mean say about the virtualization enabled application? Virtualization enabled application means आप virtually जो system exist करते हैं, जिनको हम virtually link करते हैं, they are linking together with the help of some enabled application are here. And about application aware storage virtualization, आप जो एप्लीकेशन डाटा है आप उसको कैसे डाटा को स्टोर करना है, कैसे हम वहां से रिट्रीव करेंगे, दिस काइंड ऑफ द स्टोरेज वर्चुअलाइजेशन. एंड अबाउट द पॉलिसी बेस्ड मैनेजमेंट, in the policy based management we make the various policies that is to be very necessary to be followed by this area. And in the automation of storage that we already discussed, in automation rule should be here. So the automation of storage process make here data to be kind of that we can operate easily. And the logical abstraction layer. Logical abstraction means here the word abstraction that show you the necessary detail and the remaining are hidden. The logical is what we are making the virtualization in which we are making the linking with the logical address, and in the logical address what you are getting from the various layer and the below layer are the hidden. So you are what getting some actual data that is in front of you is only that is you are watching, but how the internally they are linking that you are not aware by this. And about the physical storage system we will talk, that is the actual location on which your data is to store. So this is the main term about we would like to discuss here the physical storage system. And the next is here the services, that is all these make are the services finally, that is the dynamic capacity allocation. Dynamically how can you store data at the time of runtime, that is dynamic capacity allocation, that can be tape background process. Through the tape background process you are linking here. Storage consolidation can be here. Heterogeneous storage tied together with the ILM in the short they can say, and point in time snapshots can be the application, and mirroring, auditing, and the service billing. That is to be mean here that point to point application mirroring auditing होती है, that can be handled with the various services and the billing. In the kind of these services are made by this virtualization. Next about here transparency, that is storage virtualization provide for storage asset should eventually apply to storage virtualization solution itself. Transparency means डाटा जो हमारा virtualize कहाँ हमारे कैसे स्टोर हो रहा है ये प्रोवाइड करता है assets को, that should be can be eventually apply. हम इसको अप्लाई कर सकते हैं on storage जहाँ पे हमारा डाटा visualization है, virtualization है, you are getting the logically connections here. Means again I want to tell you that ट्रांसपेरेंसी स्टोरेज है. ट्रांसपेरेंसी आप देख सकते हैं कि हमारा लॉजिकली कैसे डाटा को लिंक एंड यू आर गेटिंग इट, दैट प्रोवाइड बाय फॉर स्टोरेज एसेट्स, एंड दैट इज इवेंचुअली बेसिकली हम जो अप्लाई करते हैं बाय वर्चुअलाइजेशन करते हैं. एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्शन लेयर, दैट इज द मेन पॉइंट हियर थ्रू विच दे आर लिंकिंग एंड यू आर गेटिंग एक्चुअली डाटा फ्रॉम द फिजिकल, that mask the physical from the logical storage. आपको बताया abstraction that physically आपका डाटा कहाँ जा रहा है and how it is linking with the logical, that is not aware by you because these are the abstract here, but you are getting data is visible to you, but how and where, these all are abstract here. Either to host system and to storage network as internal option within the SAN, interconnect, storage array or tape subsystem target. I hope it very clear to you. Storage array and the type subsystem target. Your data आपका जो स्टोर हो रहा है, कहाँ हो रहा है, कैसे किस एरे के अकॉर्डिंग हो सकता है, नेटवर्क के अकॉर्डिंग, होस्ट के अकॉर्डिंग, that we already discussed here. Next is about the file and record. That's I already told you. File here, the data is to be stored here, and the record can be also. Application that we are used to create and manipulate user data to produce a meaningful result. You know, the data means that is raw fact and material. It can be either some meaningful information or not be. But this, when the term is the meaningful, that you can say information, and you can be see the records. So data that reside in the transitory form in the computer memory, and in persistent form as data block on and discord टाइप. आपका डाटा जैसे हो सकता है इन द ब्लॉक फॉर्म में, जैसे हमने स्टार्टिंग में वर्ड क्रिएट में हमने पढ़ा था कि ब्लॉक हो सकते हैं, डिस्क हो सकते हैं, एंड टेप हो सकती है. सो डाटा आपका इन द कंप्यूटर मेमोरी कैन बी राइज ऑन एनीवेयर, आइदर इन द डाटा इन द ब्लॉक में, डिस्क में, इन द टेप में. बट एक्चुअली द लिंकिंग आर हियर विद द फाइल्स. We make the file, and ultimately when data is to be stored in the record, they are linked with the file. As I have discussed in the last earlier, we make here the directories, and the subdirectory contain the files, and the files contain the what is basically the record. But if you don't make this the directories in the file, that is the very not as safely your data can be accessed and modified by anyone. Application access to data. How do your data is to be accessed here? डाटा इन IT environment. आपको जो डाटा आप देखते हैं इन द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी इन्वायरमेंट, दैट इज टू बी बेसिकली कन्वर्टेड टू मशीन रीडेबल. जैसे आप जानते हैं आज के टाइम पे आप सब कुछ ऑन मशीन करते हैं, मशीन पे ही सारा वर्क करते हैं. मैनुअली जो आपके पेपर वर्क था, दैट इज टू बी फिनिश्ड, गोइंग टू फिनिश डे बाय डे, because that environment information is to cover to machine readable digital binary format. आप इसमें अपने English way या any language in which you understand, you write on it, and it is automatically converted into what that basically, you know, the every machine just read it about the binary. So computer just only read the whatever machine understand is in the binary format, but you are writing here that can be in your readable format. So the information in the form of data, that the raw material for application processing and transport and that management here. These all data is to be how to transfer over one way to another is to manage and transfer, and user data is input here. What the user data is required, that is to be input and digitized, and that is manipulated and then served up in intelligible and with the human readable form. As you know, in the machine we are entering some data, and that is very clearly to by the user data is input and digitized. जो हम user data हम इसमें डाल रहे हैं वो हमारा digitized होना चाहिए, manipulation कर सकते हैं and serve up with in the intelligible form, क्योंकि हम उसको टच नहीं कर सकते हैं, but logically you can view and manipulate here. आप सिस्टम पे जो काम कर रहे हैं, लॉजिकली आप राइट कर रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, आप सॉफ्टवेयर पे काम करते हैं, तो आप सब कुछ लॉजिकली से देख सक रहे हैं, बट फिजिकली वो कैसे लिंक है, दैट इज टू बी बाय लिंकिंग बाय सम the layer is linking here. How to have data is moved to the physically, you know very well, that is operating system which link with your hardware and as well as software, and make finally to be make human readable form. Whatever you write, that is finally digitized, and again you can see in the form what you are writing is your readable form. And data is file. When the file is written to disk, जब आपका डाटा डिस्क पे रिटर्न होता है, that is in addition information हो सकती है, that is associated with the file or in the form of file, that is the metadata. And what is metadata? Metadata is the data that contain information about the data is the metadata. That show the information about data. You can say the form like a dictionary format, that is always written on the disk, and this contains some additional information is related to what your file. तो फाइल से रिलेटेड जो डाटा होता है आपका क्या है इसकी कंप्लीट डिटेल्स आपकी इस मेटाडाटा में कंटेन करती है. एंड मेटाडाटा स्ट्रक्चर में बी वेरी फ्रॉम वन फाइल सिस्टम टू अनदर. ये हमें डिफरेंट फाइल सिस्टम के अकॉर्डिंग हमारे मेटाडाटा जो है वो मैच करती है, एंड इट कैन बी आइदर ऑफ यूनिक्स फाइल सिस्टम एज वेल. So this is the exercise in this session that you can try it by yourself is the what is difference between file and the record, and explain the role of the virtualization. This is all about this session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.